Hello, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so glad you stopped by. This is a place for those who love spine-chilling stories, eerie locations, and the thrill of the unknown. Whether you're a seasoned paranormal enthusiast or just someone curious about what lies beyond the veil, I've got something special in store for you today. We're diving deep into the heart of one of America's most fascinating and terrifying haunted landmarks, Buffalo Bill's Irma Hotel and Restaurant in Cody, Wyoming. Now, if you're not familiar with this historic establishment, let me give you a little background. The Irma Hotel was built in 1902 by none other than William Frederick Cody, better known as Buffalo Bill, the legendary showman and frontiersman whose Wild West shows captivated audiences around the world. Named after his youngest daughter, Irma, the hotel was intended as a gift to provide her with financial security. While it has since become a beloved tourist attraction and a cornerstone of Cody's rich history, the Irma Hotel also carries a reputation that sets it apart from other historic buildings. It is widely regarded as one of the most haunted hotels in the United States. From the moment guests step through its grand entrance, they are enveloped in an atmosphere thick with history and mystery. The ornate chandeliers, antique furnishings, and preserved Western charm transport visitors to another era, but many leave with more than just a glimpse of the past. Over the years, countless guests, staff members, and paranormal investigators have reported strange occurrences that defy logical explanation. Lights flickering without cause, disembodied voices whispering down empty hallways, cold spots that appear out of nowhere, and even full-bodied apparitions have all been part of the hotel's long-standing ghostly reputation. Some say these spirits are merely lingering echoes of the past, while others believe they are tied to tragic events that unfolded within these walls over a century ago. Today, we'll be exploring the most haunting aspects of Buffalo Bill's Irma Hotel and Restaurant, uncovering the stories behind its famous ghosts, the chilling experiences of those who have stayed overnight, and the investigations that have tried and failed to explain the unexplainable. Whether you believe in the supernatural or simply enjoy a good scare, there's no denying that the Irma Hotel holds a unique place in the annals of American hauntings. So, if you're ready to face the unknown, grab your flashlight, settle in, and let's begin our journey into the depths of one of the most haunted places in the West. The origins of fear, tragedy, mystery, and the supernatural. The haunting of Buffalo Bill's Irma Hotel and Restaurant can be traced back to its very foundation, rooted in both historical tragedy and personal sorrow. Built in 1902 by William Buffalo Bill Cody, the hotel was not only a business venture but also a heartfelt gesture toward his youngest daughter, Irma, for whom the hotel was named. Cody envisioned the building as a lasting legacy for Irma, ensuring she would always have a source of income and stability. However, despite its noble intentions, the hotel soon became the site of several unsettling incidents that would contribute to its growing reputation as one of the most haunted hotels in the country. One of the earliest tragedies associated with the Irma Hotel involved a young woman named Lillian Stewart, who worked as a maid at the establishment in the early 1900s. According to local legend, Lillian fell deeply in love with a ranch hand who frequently visited the town of Cody. When he abruptly left without saying goodbye, Lillian was devastated. Some accounts claim she was pregnant at the time, adding to the depth of her despair. Heartbroken and unable to cope, Lillian reportedly took her own life in one of the hotel's upstairs rooms. Though the exact details of her death remain unclear, locals insist that her spirit never left the premises. Guests and staff alike have described encountering a melancholic figure wandering the halls late at night, a woman dressed in old-fashioned clothing, her expression filled with sorrow. Some say she appears near room 205, where she is believed to have ended her life, while others claim to hear soft sobs echoing from the staircase when no one else is present. Another tragic event that contributed to the hotel's haunted reputation occurred decades later, during the 1940s. A traveling salesman, weary from the road, checked into the Irma Hotel for what should have been a peaceful night's rest. The next morning, housekeeping staff discovered him dead in his room under mysterious circumstances. There were no signs of struggle, no visible injuries, and no clear cause of death. Some speculated that he had suffered a heart attack, while others whispered about a more sinister fate. Witnesses claimed that on the night of his death, Guests staying in adjacent rooms reported hearing faint whispers and the sound of footsteps pacing outside their doors, despite knowing they were alone in the hallway. To this day, some guests claim to feel an inexplicable sense of dread when staying in the same room, describing sudden drops in temperature and the feeling of being watched even when completely alone. Beyond individual tragedies, the hotel itself has played host to numerous inexplicable occurrences that have fueled speculation about its haunted status. One of the most frequently cited phenomena involves Room 306, often referred to as the ghost room. Visitors staying in this particular suite have reported waking up to find their belongings mysteriously rearranged overnight, despite locking their doors before going to sleep. Others describe the sensation of an unseen presence sitting on their beds, pressing down on them as if trying to keep them from moving. Some even claim to have seen a shadowy figure standing at the foot of their bed, vanishing the moment they open their eyes fully. Staff members refuse to stay in the room alone after dark, citing an overwhelming sense of unease that makes it impossible to ignore. Paranormal investigators have conducted multiple studies at the Irma Hotel, capturing electronic voice phenomena, EVPs, and thermal anomalies that suggest the presence of unseen entities. Thermal imaging cameras have recorded human-shaped heat signatures in areas where no living person was present, while audio recordings have captured distorted voices calling out names and issuing cryptic warnings. Whether these disturbances stem from residual energy imprinted onto the environment, or something far more sinister remains a subject of debate. What is undeniable, however, is that the Irma Hotel continues to attract those who seek answers about the supernatural, drawing in both skeptics and believers alike. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of this historic landmark, one thing becomes increasingly clear: those who once lived and died within its walls may not have truly left. Whether their spirits remain due to unfinished business, unresolved grief, or something entirely unknown, the Irma Hotel stands as a testament to the thin veil between the living and the dead. Echoes of the past. The ghostly residents of the Irma Hotel. Among the most frequently encountered spirits at the Irma Hotel is Irma Cody herself, the namesake of the establishment. Though she passed away in 1950, many believe her spirit lingers within the walls of the hotel she once called home. Descriptions of her apparition vary, but common reports describe a well-dressed woman in early 20th century attire, often seen walking the second-floor corridor near the original family quarters. Some guests claim she appears as a translucent figure, barely visible in the dim lighting, while others insist she looks perfectly real, until she suddenly vanishes without a trace. Housekeepers have reported finding small items, such as pens and jewelry, placed neatly on furniture in rooms she is believed to have frequented, despite no guest having entered. Some interpret this as Irma's way of maintaining order in the space she once cherished, while others see it as a sign that she refuses to let go of the life she once knew. Another well-known spectral presence is that of the phantom waiter, a ghostly figure dressed in vintage hotel staff attire who is said to haunt the dining area and kitchen. Employees working late hours have described seeing a man in an old-fashioned waiter uniform walking through the restaurant, only to disappear when approached. Some claim he appears to be setting tables or adjusting silverware, as if continuing his duties from beyond the grave. On rare occasions, guests have reported ordering meals that they did not request, with servers swearing they saw someone place the additional orders moments before disappearing into thin air. Whether this figure is a remnant of the hotel's early days or a mischievous entity playing tricks on the living remains uncertain, but those who work at the Irma Hotel treat him with a mix of curiosity and reverence, believing he is simply fulfilling his eternal role as a caretaker of the establishment. Perhaps the most unsettling of the hotel's resident spirits is the Shadow Man, a dark, featureless figure said to lurk in the corners of the upper floors. Unlike the benevolent presences of Irma and the phantom waiter, the Shadow Man exudes an aura of menace that has left even the bravest investigators shaken. Numerous guests have reported feeling an overwhelming sense of dread when encountering him, describing an almost suffocating pressure in the air and an instinctual urge to flee. Some claim he watches silently from doorways, only to vanish when confronted, while others report experiencing sudden equipment malfunctions whenever he appears on camera. Whether he is a lost soul trapped in the building's history or something far more ominous remains a mystery, one that continues to draw both fear and fascination from those who dare to explore its secrets. Into the depths, investigating the haunted legacy of the Irma Hotel. Determined to uncover the truth behind the Irma Hotel's haunting reputation, several paranormal investigation teams have ventured into its historic halls. Armed with state-of-the-art equipment and an unwavering resolve to document whatever might be lurking in the shadows. Among the most notable expeditions was that of the Rocky Mountain Paranormal Research Society, a group of dedicated investigators who spent 3 consecutive nights inside the hotel, setting up cameras, EMF detectors, infrared sensors, and audio recorders in key locations. Their findings, released in a detailed report, provided compelling evidence that reignited interest in the hotel's ghostly legends. One of the most chilling discoveries made by RMPRS was captured on a thermal imaging camera positioned near the second-floor hallway. At approximately 2:37 a.m., the footage showed a humanoid-shaped anomaly emerging from an empty room, moving slowly toward the center of the corridor before abruptly vanishing. What made this sighting particularly unsettling was that no visible figure appeared on the standard video feed. The entity was only detectable through thermal imaging, suggesting it either lacked a physical form or existed in a state beyond normal perception. The investigators, visibly shaken, attempted to communicate using a digital voice recorder, asking, "Who are you? Why are you here?" Moments later, registering an unusually high reading. Simultaneously, the audio recorder picked up a distorted whisper stating, "I remember everything. I can't leave." In addition to visual and auditory anomalies, the team documented multiple instances of unexplained cold spots throughout the hotel. Using thermometers and thermal cameras, they recorded drastic temperature drops in specific areas, sometimes plummeting by as much as 20 degrees within seconds. These cold zones were concentrated near the staircase and the former family quarters, where local legends speak of tragic events involving Buffalo Bill's descendants. Some speculate that these areas serve as portals for residual energy, carrying forward the emotions of those who once walked the halls. Another harrowing encounter was experienced by a solo investigator who set up camp near the hotel's grand piano in the main lobby. He described waking in the middle of the night to the sound of faint music drifting through the air. Upon opening his eyes, he found himself staring at a woman in a flowing white dress seated at the piano, her fingers delicately gliding across the keys. As he reached for his flashlight, the music stopped, and the woman vanished before his eyes. Petrified, he hastily packed his gear and left the hotel, vowing never to return. Despite the skepticism surrounding paranormal investigations, the sheer volume of consistent reports and recorded anomalies makes it difficult to dismiss the idea that something unnatural lingers within the Irma Hotel. Whether these experiences stem from residual energies, interdimensional phenomena, or something far more sinister remains uncertain. But for those who have witnessed the inexplicable firsthand, the question is no longer whether the hotel is haunted, it's what exactly is waiting in the darkness, watching and waiting. The psychological impact of the Irma Hotel's hauntings. For those who have experienced the horrors of the Irma Hotel firsthand, the memories remain vivid, unsettling, and impossible to forget. Countless individuals have come forward over the years, recounting their encounters with the unknown, some hesitant to speak, fearing ridicule, while others share their stories in hopes of finding validation or understanding. These personal accounts paint a chilling picture of a place where reality bends, time distorts, and the veil between the living and the dead feels perilously thin. One such account comes from Sarah Mitchell, a nurse who visited the Irma Hotel with a group of friends in the summer of 2018. She described how the evening started innocently enough, with laughter and casual conversation as they wandered through the grand lobby. However, as they ventured deeper into the hotel, the atmosphere shifted dramatically. "It felt like the air got heavier," she recalled. "We couldn't explain it, but we all stopped talking at the same time, like we were afraid to make a sound." As they reached the second-floor landing, Sarah noticed something odd. Her phone, which had been fully charged, suddenly died, along with her friend's flashlight. "That's when we saw it," she whispered. "A figure standing at the end of the hallway. It wasn't moving, just staring at us." The group stood frozen, paralyzed by fear, as they tried to determine whether the figure was real or merely a trick of the dim lighting. "It looked human, but wrong," Sarah explained. "Its arms were too long, and its head was tilted at an unnatural angle." Before anyone could react, the figure vanished into the shadows as quickly as it had appeared. Shaken, the group hurried back toward the main entrance, only to realize they had somehow ended up in a completely different part of the hotel, one they hadn't passed through on their way in. "We didn't know how we got there," she admitted. "It was like the hotel itself moved around us." Another harrowing experience was shared by Mark Alvarez, a security guard who worked the overnight shift patrolling the perimeter of the hotel in the early 2000s. He described his usual routine as uneventful, filled with the usual sounds of the night, until one particularly quiet evening when he heard a child laughing in the distance. "At first, I thought maybe some kid snuck in after hours," he said. "But the laugh kept going, getting louder and louder, like it was right behind me." He turned around, expecting to see a teenager hiding behind a tree, but instead found himself staring into complete darkness. "There was no one there," he said, his voice trembling. And then the laughing stopped. From that point on, Mark claimed the area became increasingly unnerving. He reported seeing shadowy figures moving just beyond the edges of his flashlight beam, only to disappear when he tried to approach. On one occasion, he swore he saw a woman dressed in old-fashioned clothing standing near the entrance gate, watching him silently. When he blinked, she was gone. Eventually, the constant sense of being watched and the creeping dread that settled over him every night forced him to quit his job. "I don't care what people say," he insisted. "Something isn't right in that place." These stories, while differing in details, share a common thread. Each individual entered the Irma Hotel expecting a simple visit or routine work assignment, only to leave shaken by something they could neither explain nor escape. Whether these experiences stem from psychological suggestion, environmental anomalies, or something far more sinister, the impact on those who live them remains undeniable. For those who have faced the unknown within the Irma Hotel, the memory lingers, a haunting reminder that some places are best left undisturbed. The cultural significance of the Irma Hotel, folklore, media, and urban legend beyond its reputation as a hotspot for paranormal activity, Buffalo Bill's Irma Hotel has taken on a life of its own within local folklore, media coverage, and urban legend. Over the years, the hotel has become a symbol of fear and mystery, inspiring countless horror stories, documentaries, and even fictionalized accounts in literature and film. Its presence in pop culture has only fueled the intrigue surrounding it, drawing both skeptics and believers who hope to uncover the truth behind the myths. Local news outlets have covered the hotel extensively, often highlighting unsolved disappearances, strange occurrences, and eyewitness testimonies that add to its enigmatic allure. In the 1990s, a regional television station aired a documentary titled Shadows of the Wild West, which featured interviews with former residents, paranormal investigators, and even law enforcement officers who had responded to calls regarding suspicious activity at the hotel. The documentary included grainy footage allegedly showing shadowy figures moving between the hotel's corridors, as well as audio recordings of eerie whispers that sent chills down the spines of viewers. Though skeptics dismissed the content as poorly edited hoaxes, the documentary sparked renewed interest in the location, prompting a surge of nighttime visits from thrill-seekers eager to test the legends for themselves. Literature has also played a significant role in cementing the Irma Hotel's status as a cultural phenomenon. Several horror novels have drawn inspiration from its eerie reputation, weaving fictional narratives around real-life events and reported hauntings. One particularly popular book, Whispers in the West, blends documented paranormal investigations with creative storytelling, portraying the hotel as a gateway to another realm where lost souls are trapped in an endless cycle of torment. The novel's success led to a limited-run podcast series that reenacted the events described in the book, blending real interview clips with dramatized retellings that blurred the lines between fiction and reality. The internet has further amplified the mystique of the Irma Hotel, with forums, YouTube videos, and social media pages dedicated to sharing personal experiences and investigating its haunted reputation. Urban explorers frequently upload footage of their nighttime excursions, capturing everything from strange lights flickering in the distance to unexplained sounds that defy logical explanation. Some of these videos have gone viral, attracting millions of views and sparking debates about whether the hotel truly harbors something supernatural, or if the collective belief in its haunting has created a self-perpetuating cycle of fear. Despite the commercialization of its legend, the Irma Hotel remains a deeply unsettling place for those who visit. Whether it is the power of suggestion, the influence of local folklore, or something far more inexplicable, one thing is certain: the hotel continues to capture the imagination of those who dare to explore its shadowy depths. The enduring mystery of Buffalo Bill's Irma Hotel and Restaurant. As we bring this chilling journey to a close, one thing remains abundantly clear: Buffalo Bill's Irma Hotel and Restaurant is more than just a historic landmark. It is a place where history, mystery, and the unknown intertwine in ways that defy explanation. From the sorrowful apparition of Irma Cody herself to the mischievous yet unsettling presence of the phantom waiter, the hotel continues to captivate those who walk its creaking floorboards. Whether these spirits are the lingering echoes of the past or something far more sinister, one thing is certain: the Irma Hotel has earned its place among the most haunted locations in the United States. If you've enjoyed this exploration of one of the most terrifying destinations in the American West, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss another spine-chilling story. Whether you're a believer in the paranormal or simply fascinated by the power of fear and folklore, there's always more to uncover in the world of the unknown. Until next time, stay curious, stay brave, and remember, sometimes the scariest places are the ones that hold the deepest connections to history, where the past refuses to be forgotten.